everyone. My name is Stephanie May Imario and I'm from Group 2. So for this video, our group will be reporting for our subject in personal development, and our members are Andrea, Aubrey, Charles is our leader, Stephanie, Eric, Generous, Andre, John Lester, Maisha, and Josh. So we are going to talk about the Module 5, Social Influence.
Conformity, compliance, and obedience are all concepts in social psychology that involve how individuals respond to social pressures or directives. The first one to discuss is the conformity. The meaning of this refers to the tendency of an individual to change their attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors to match those of a group. And an example of that is conformity is when someone starts dressing similarly to their friends or group to adopt the same opinions as their peers to fit in. And the next one to discuss is the compliance. The meaning of this involves going along with the request or directing from another person or group, even if one does not necessarily agree with it. An example of compliance is when someone agrees to buy a product after being persuaded by a famous person. And even if they didn't originally intend to make the purchase. And last one to discuss is the obedience. The obedience is the act of following orders or instruction from an authority figure. One of the classic examples of obedience is the Milgram experiment. The Milgram experiment is where participants were instructed to administer electric shocks to another person under the direction of an authority figure, even though they believed it was causing harm.
Module 6, conduct a mini survey on Filipino relationships, family, school, and community.
So there are many different types of relationship, and today's topic we will tackle all about it. So we have family relationship, friends relationship, acquaintances relationship, and community relationship. Social relationship are relationship between people that occasionally meet our needs, may lack closeness, and also interdependence of relationships. So example of these are your distant relatives, acquaintances, and co-workers. So relationship is defined in which two or more people interact and behave toward each other. So next relationship is family or relatives. So we all know that family is the first relationship that we have since we are born. So family includes our parents, of course, our siblings, our cousins, our grandparents, aunts.
Friends. Friends are the people we are not to but choose to interact with. A friend is a person whom one has a band of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relation. So friends are indeed individuals we choose to interact with, and our bond with them is based on mutual affection and understanding. It's a unique relationship when we share experience, support each other, and enjoy spending time together, separate from family or romantic relationship. Next, acquaintances. Acquaintances are the people you may encounter oftentimes but are not friends or relatives. So these are the people you know or have met, but you don't have a closer or personal relationship with them like you would with friends or relatives. You might see them occasionally or interact with them in certain contexts, but you don't typically share personal details or spend significant time together outside of those encounters.
We also have community relations. It simply describes a company's interaction with the community in which it resides. Cambridge Dictionary defines it as a relationship that a company or organization has with the people who live in the area in which it operates. Building community relationships can be the most important communication activity undertaken by an organization for the good of the community. So, when a company or an organization have the relationship with the community, it can be helpful because one of the important things is that they will share a goal that can be successful someday, and it can also be beneficial to the both of party, which is they will agree to the both side or to the both opinions that will be given.
Filipino relationship, Filipinos' perspective in building family relationship focuses establishing close ties. Philippine population is bonded together with common values and traits that are first taught at home and being applied in our day-to-day lives. Here are some of the family values Filipino have. Una, ang pagpapahalaga sa pamilya. Kilala naman natin ang Pilipino na maano talaga sa pamilya. Pangalawa naman ay ang respect. One of the precious things Filipino have is that they are respectful, lalong-lalo ng mga kabataan. Hindi ko natin maano po at opo at pumamano sa mga matatanda. Hindi lang sa matatanda, syempre sa hindi natin, sa tatay natin, sa tito, sa tita, pangatlo naman ay ang God-fearing. Kasi tayo yung mga Pilipino na malakas yung pananampalataya sa Diyos. Tayo yung napaka-religious, lalo yung mga lola at lolo natin. Pang-apat naman ay ang pagkikisama. Tayo mga Pilipino, mahilig talaga tayo tumulong sa ating kapwa. Mahilig tayo yung, Filipinos get along with different kinds of people. Kahit ano pa yan, hiling tayong tumulong. Like, tayo yung tao na mabilis maawa. Lalo na kung sino pa yung mahirap, siya pa yung tumutulong. Hindi lahat. Hindi ko nila lahat. Panglimalaman, hospitality. One of the most popular qualities of Filipinos have is that they are very hospitable. When there are visitors at home, they will do a lot of preparation for good entertainment and accommodation so that you will feel at home and enjoy the stay. Lalo na yung mga Pilipino pag may bisita. Yung mga bago nilang plato, pag walang bisita, hindi nila ginagamit. Pero pag may bisita, doon lang nila ilalabas yung bagong plato nila, bagong hangout, lahat ng bago, sa bisita talaga nila pinapagamit. Ang next naman ay, ito talaga ang number one, utang na loob. Tayo mga Pilipino, marunong tayo magbigay ng utang na loob. These traits shows a sense of duty and responsibility. Filipinos know how to repay other people when someone help us to return the favors with goodness. Ang pito naman ay love and happiness. Tayo mga Pilipino, kahit ano dumaan sa ating buhay, mapabagyo man yan, wala. Masaya pa rin tayo. Halimbawa, pag binabahan na tayo, yung mga Pilipino, nagsusunod pa rin kahit binabagyo na. Filipino values will prevail even if years will pass by. It will never be removed because it serves as a distinction among other things. Yun lamang sa family relationship. Homeschool partnership occurs through the processes of cooperation, coordination, and collaboration to enhance learning opportunities, educational progress, and school success for students in academic, social, emotional, and behavioral domain. Paralan ang nagsisilbing pangalawang tahanan natin at ganito na rin ang ating guro na nagsisilbing pangalawang magulang natin. Ang paaralan ay isang mahalagang institusyon na nagbibigay daan sa pagpapalawak ng kaalaman at pag-unawa sa mundo. Ito ay isang lugar kung saan ang mga mag-aaral ay maaaring matuto mula sa kanilang mga guro, mga kapwa mag-aaral at maging sa karanasan ng araw-araw ng buhay. Ang paaralan ay hindi lamang nagbibigay ng kaalaman, kundi nag-uugnay din sa mga individual mula sa iba't ibang antas ng lipunan patungo sa isang kolektibong hangarin ng pag-unlad at kaalaman.
So, community. Many of today's leaders in education, business, and community development are coming to realize that schools alone cannot prepare our youth for a productive adulthood. It is evident that schools and communities should work closely with each other to meet their mutual goals. Schools can provide more supports for students, families, staff when they are integral part of the community. Appropriate and effective collaboration and teaming are seen as key factors to community development, learning, families' sufficiency. So, partnership should be also considered as connections between schools and community. So, the partnership may involve the following: utilization of school or neighborhood facilities, the equipment or giving other resources, collaborative fundraising and grant applications, giving assistance, mentoring, and training from professionals and other with special expertise, information sharing and dissemination, networking recognition and public relations, shared responsibility for planning, implementation and evaluation of programs and services, expanding opportunity for internships, job creation, and building a sense of community. So, school community partnership can intervene many resources and strategies to enhance communities that support all youth and their families. They could make school better, strengthen neighborhoods, and lead to a noticeable depletion in young people's problems. Building such partnership requires visioning, strategic planning, creative leadership, and new adoptable roles for professionals who work in schools and communities.
What is mini survey? A mini survey is a brief of questionnaires designed to collect specific information or feedback on a particular topic. It is typically shorter in a length compared to traditional survey and is often used in situations where time is limited or where respondents might be less willing to engage in a longer survey. Mini survey can be used in various contexts such as customer feedback, event evaluation, employee satisfaction assessment, and quick polls on the social media platforms. These are the steps in conducting a mini survey. The first one is clarify your objectives. Before embarking on a mini survey, it's crucial to define clear objectives, determine the specific information you aim to gather, and the insights you seek to gain. Clarifying objectives helps in clarifying focus questions and ensures the relevance and effectiveness of the survey. The second one is find out what else has been done. Prior to conducting a mini survey, research existing literature and past surveys related to your topic of interest. Understanding what has already been done provides a valuable context and helps avoid redundancy. Analyze previous findings to identify gaps in knowledge and opportunities for further exploration on your mini survey. The third one is choose the respondents. Selecting the right respondents is crucial for the success of a mini survey, considering factors such as demographics, expertise, and relevance to the survey topic. Ensure that the chosen sample accurately represents the target population to obtain meaningful insights. The last one is develop questions. Craft clear and concise questions that directly address the objectives of the mini survey. Utilize a mix of close-ended and, if necessary, a limited number of open-ended questions to gather both qualitative and quantitative data. Ensure that these questions are relevant, unbiased, and easy to understand to maximize respondent engagement and the quality of responses.
For Module 7, we have the family structures and legacies.
So, first, what is a family? Family comes from the Latin word familia, which means group of people living in the household. Family could be related by blood, by birth, or by other relationships. So, second one is, what is type of family structure? So, what is family structures? Family structures differ from one family to another. That is why we should not compare our family with others. And the following table list is the different family structures. So the first one is nuclear family, or is it also known as conjugal or traditional family. So it consists of married couples and their offsprings. So the example of this is you have a mother, father, and you as their children. And the next one is extended family. So this type of family includes all relatives in proximity, such as grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. So it is a family living together with mother, father, children, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and other relatives in one roof. So the next one is single parent family. This family type includes one parent and their children only. So, which means a single parent family could be the result of a divorce, the death of a one parent, or even a single parent adoption. So this consists of one parent and his children, like your father or you, or your mother or you as their children. Then next one is step family. It is a family where the parents have divorced and remarried, bringing you from other unions together to form new nuclear family. It is also known as blended family, where two families are like collided. It consists a mother, children, stepfather, and his kids if ever he has a kids. And for your example, for your father, if ever he remarries, your father, the children is you, stepmother, and her kids if ever she has a kids. Then for fifth one is you have foster family. This type of family includes a parent who serve as a temporary guardian for one or more children to whom they may or may not be biological related. This consists of parents, children, and you as their foster kids. So for adopted or adoptive family, a family wherein parents may adopt a child to whom they share no blood relationship, or one parent may adopt the child of the other parent. So this example of the orphan children. So if they adopt that orphan children, so they become the legally parents of that child. So the next one is biracial or multiracial family. It is a family wherein parents are from different races. We have cases like that, like Phil-Am, which means Filipino. You have a Filipino mother or father, and you have American father or mother. So next one is transracial adoptive family. A family where parents adopted a child with a different race. Yeah, it consists American parents and they adopted they adopted Filipino children. That's what you call transracial adoptive family. Then the next one is conditional separated family, wherein a family or one of the family members is conditionally separated from the others. This consists a family. This means a family living together except for the father who worked abroad, or a family living together except for the eldest child serving in the military, ganon. Something like that. So for the next one is childless family. It's where a married couple without children. So it consists mother and father only. So the next one is gay or lesbian family. A family where one or both parents have a different sexual orientation and part of the LGBTQ community. Where this means you have a lesbian mother and her children with a gay father. We also have that kind of cases. So second to the last is the migrant family. It is a family who settles together in a different place. It could be from one another due to some circumstances, such as father's job. This can also mean a family who migrated from a place because the father is a military officer. Then, for the last one is immigrant family. A family wherein one or both parents are already So for the last one is immigrant family. A family wherein one or both parents are already an immigrant of other country. So their children may be or may not be an immigrant. Example, Santa's family whose mom is already an immigrant of Canada. Their mother is already a Canadian citizen, but the rest of the family is not. So that's what you call the immigrant family.
Family is a cornerstone of society that nurtures, supports, and empowers individuals to become the best version of themselves. It is a source of love, guidance, and strength that shapes one's identity, beliefs, and values. As individuals navigate through the ups and downs of life, having a strong family unit by their side can make all the difference of their journey towards happiness and fulfillment. An individual's emotional legacy refers to the internalized emotional pattern and belief that are passed down from generation to generation within a family. This emotional legacy can have a profound influence on how individuals navigate their own emotion and relationship with others. By addressing our emotional legacy, we can begin to heal past wounds, create more meaningful connection with others, and cultivate a greater sense of emotional well-being in our lives. Breaking free from negative emotion patterns and creating a positive emotional legacy for future generations is a powerful and transformative journey that can lead to greater emotional resilience, self-awareness, and personal growth. Social legacy refers to the lasting impact that a society's custom, beliefs, and actions have on future generations. These legacies can take many forms, ranging from traditions and cultural customs to political ideologies and social movements. The influence of social legacies can be seen in the various aspects of society, including education, healthcare, and the economy. Spiritual legacy is a concept that refers to the values, beliefs, practice, and teaching that one passes down to future generations. It encompasses the spiritual tradition and practice that have been handed down from ancestors to have shaped the way individuals understand and interact with the world. In today's rapidly changing world, it is more important than ever to reflect on our spiritual legacy and consider how they can be passed down in ways that are meaningful and relevant to the future generation. By taking time to understand and honor our spiritual roots, we can ensure that our legacy continue to inspire and guide those who came after us.
Module 8, make a genogram and trace certain physical personality or behavioral attributes through generations.
So let's start with the definition of a genogram. So what is actually a genogram? So it is pronounced as genogram. Genogram, remember that, is a graphic representation of a family tree that displays detailed data on relationships among individuals. So a genogram is actually much more complex than a family tree because it does not only show the physical and social relationships among members, but it also describes and shows the connections when it comes to emotions, the emotional connection among individuals. Now let's dive deeper into the history of a genogram. So a genogram was actually first developed and popularized in clinical setting by Monica McGoldrick and Randy Gerson in the year 1985 through a publication of a book. But it was actually Murray Bowen invented the concept of the genograms, where it was a part of his family systems model in the year 1970s. So talking about a genogram, it is also known as a McGoldrick-Gerson study, since they were the ones who developed that. Well, talking about a genogram, it goes beyond a traditional family tree, because it allows users to visualize hereditary patterns and also psychological factors that punctuate relationships. So we can understand the emotional connections between individuals and also identify repetitive patterns of behavior and also to recognize hereditary tendencies. Now talking about genogram symbols, we need to first identify the basic genogram symbols before actually making a genogram. So let's start with this. For the male symbol, it is represented through a square. For the female, on the other hand, it is represented through a circle. Next one, for pregnant people, it is represented through the shape of a triangle. The next one, the gay and the lesbian symbol. For the gay people, they are represented through the shape of a circle, while there is a triangle in the inside. While lesbians, they are represented through the shape of a square on the outside and a triangle as well in the inside. Now notice these two symbols. Observe that the gay symbol, it has a circle on the outside, because these people tend to feel and act like women, right? While the lesbian symbol, it has a square on the outside, because these people tend to feel and act as men. So that's the basic genogram symbols. Now let's talk about lines, on how individuals, two individuals or more, are actually connected. Now, for the married people, we can use one whole straight line. One whole straight line, no broken pieces. Remember that. Next one is when they are actually separated, we can use one whole straight line, and there is a slash in the middle. Now, if a couple undergoes divorce, we can actually use the line, one whole straight line, and two slashes in the middle. Remember, if they are separated, only one slash. But if they've gone under divorce, we can use two slashes in the middle. Now, if a person is actually dead, we can use the X symbol, the X. Now, for individuals with conflictual relationships, something is complicated, we can use a zigzag line, a zigzag. And if they have a very close relationship, they are close to one another, we can use three lines, three whole straight lines. Remember that. And if they are actually on a distant relationship, like LDR, they miss one another, we can actually use broken lines. Broken, separated. They are separated to one another. So these are the basic lines that we need to understand in a genogram. Now talking about about a genogram, remember that it does not only show the physical and social relationships among individuals, but also the emotional relationships that they have. So figure 2 here we have the emotional relationships genogram symbols, where we use different lines and also various colors to symbolize different emotions that people have with. Now let's start with hate. So hate here is symbolized with the use of 3 lines that are broken and with the use of the color red. Now next one is distrust. Distrust here is used with a straight line. A straight line with vertical lines which are parallel to one another. It has also the color red. Just like hate, it has also the color red. Next one is violence. So violence here is symbolized with a zigzag that is much more narrower and has the color red. So remember that. Up next, emotional abuse. So emotional abuse here it is symbolized with a zigzag as well, but much more shorter than usual. And it has the color violet. Okay? Next, being manipulative. So manipulative here it is symbolized with an arrow. So an arrow is used here with an X, a small X in the center. Remember, an arrow with a small X in the center, meaning that someone is manipulating another person. Next one, talking about love. So if 2 people are actually in love, we can use a line and a circle at the edge that will connect them to one another. So remember that when 2 people are in love, we use a line and a circle at the edge that will connect them to one another with the use of the color green. Okay? Next one, if 2 people are actually best friends, we can use 2 parallel lines horizontally and many vertical lines that are parallel as well to symbolize their best friends, that they are best friends. So next one is a physical abuse. So when someone experiences physical abuse with another person, we can use a zigzag line as well, just like violence earlier, but with the use of the color violet. Next one, sexual abuse. So for sexual abuse, we use here 2 zigzag lines. 2 zigzag lines that are much more shorter, just like the emotional abuse earlier. And lastly is controlling. So when someone is controlling another person, we can use an arrow as well. An arrow wherein at the center of that arrow, we use a square. A square wherein it has a X in the middle. It is used with the color red. So these are the emotional relationships and a genogram symbol. Different people also suffer from different conditions. We have the physical and mental conditions. For figure 3, we have the medical genogram symbols that we can use for these people. So for people with heart disease, we can use a square, and at the upper left corner, we use the color red square that is much more smaller. So if someone is actually suffering from breast cancer, typically a female, we can use a circle. A circle, and at the upper right corner, a much more smaller square with the color red. So remember that for breast cancer people. For people who are actually suffering from diabetes, we also use either a square or a circle. But this time, the smaller square is located at the lower left corner, which is used with the color green. So lower left corner, the color green for people who has diabetes. Next, people with Alzheimer's disease, the smaller square is located at the upper right corner with the color yellow. Remember that? At the upper right corner with the color yellow. Now for people who are experiencing Down syndrome, the smaller square is located at the lower left corner with the color blue. So remember that? At the lower left corner with the color blue. Next, people who are suffering with depression. So if someone is suffering from depression, we can use a black smaller square located at the lower right corner. At the lower right corner, which has the color black. Okay? Now next one is people who actually smoke, who are addicted to smoking. We can use the color purple here, either a male, which is a square, or a circle, which is a female. And lastly, people who have substance abuse. So if someone is using illegal substances, we can use the color red here, either a circle again, or a square once more. So that's for the people who are suffering from medical conditions. Now let us apply what we have learned for this module using the Burgos family genogram. So the Burgos family genogram, we have Joel Burgos. He is a male since he is represented through a shape of a box. Okay, so Joel Burgos, he is a male person. And Lita Burgos, on the other hand, she is a female, obviously because she has the shape of a circle. Now these two, they are actually a couple. Now down under, we have Jaime Burgos and Joseph Burgos. Both of them have the shape of a box. Now, what do you think is the relationship of Jaime and Joseph Burgos with Joel and Lita Burgos? Okay, so they are actually the sons of Joel Burgos and Lita Burgos. So now, notice Joseph Burgos. There is a broken line with a person, namely Lila Madrigal. So, what do you think is the relationship between Joseph Burgos and Lila Madrigal? Okay, so they have a distant relationship. They are separated to one another. So that's it.
Again, we are from Group 2 in Personal Development Group. I hope you learned something for our group and discussing all the from modules 5 to 8. Again, thank you for watching and listening.